Let us see how to read input and write output in Java. So there are two possibilities. Possibility one, you can directly assign values to variable, and possibility two, you can read values during program execution. So this is the outline of a class, so which has a main method. So there are two possibilities. Either you can assign values. Let's take value 1 is equal to 10, then int value 2, this is value 1 and this is value 2, is equal to 100. Right, if you're going to perform, then you simply say int value 3 or result is equal to value 1 plus value 2. Simple. And this is input, assigning values. And how to print values. So this is it. We read assign values to two variables and add them. Then you're simply printing it using print statement. This is a possibility number 1. Right. Let's say this program, we know that the class name should start with uppercase and the class name and file name should be same. So you know where to save. Desktop, Java programs. So the class name is 1, so file name also should be 1 dot. So here, so it should be, it's on desktop, that's on Java programs, ls, there is a file named as 1.java. Here it is. Now we're going to compile it. To compile, it is javac 1.java. If there is no error, it will create a class file. Look at this, 1.class is created. Now we need to run it. To run it, Java 1, nothing else. So it gives us 110. So it simply gives us value. But if you like to modify it, say I like to have a message like saying output, then you'll have to place it within double quotes, then plus symbol. If you like to leave a space in between or a colon, you'll have to do it like this. So this is basically something like a concatenation, and this is string and this has a result, and we are trying to concatenate both and print it. This is how it has to be. And remember, we need to save this, and if you're going to run the program, it will give us the previous output itself because you have not compiled new code. So to compile the modified code, we'll have to use again javac 1.java. The output file, the class file will be rewritten. When you run it, look at this. So we get a message saying output 110. So there's a possibility number 1. And what else we can do, right? We can take the input during the program execution. When the program is running, then that's it. So we can do this. So for that, we need to use something called scanner. Scanner, with the help of scanner, we can read values to variable. So not every time you open the code and assign value, and it is not advisable. So simple thing we can do is, let's modify this code accordingly. So all we need to do is we'll have to import scanner. It's a separate module. Scanner is a separate module with which we can read input. So what we need to do is we'll have to import them. Only then we can use. Step number 1, we'll have to import scanner. Java.util.scanner. Look at this. Step number 2, we'll have to create a reference variable for the class, scanner class. So this is it, scan. So using scan, I'm reading value for variable 1. So this is val1 as a variable 1. I'm reading input for val1. So this simple print statement makes the code understandable. So this print statement, enter value for val1. For val2, we are directly taking the value. Let's assume for only one value, only one variable, we are taking the value during execution. For the second variable, we are directly assigning it. And finally, we are manipulating it. Let's run this program. So 3 things you need to remember. Import the scanner, and you'll have to you should have a reference variable for the scanner. Then you'll have to use the reference variable to read input. If it is a next int, use a next int. Otherwise, you say next of is another function which is used. Next line is there to read a string. So there are plenty, right? So let's see. Let's run this program. So you need to compile it. JavaC1.java. Then you run it. Yes, 1. So now it's prompts enter value for variable 1. Exactly this print statement. It simply prints. Even without this print statement, this program will work. So when it reads this line scan.nextInt, the cursor blinks on the screen. It blinks on the screen, waits for the input. Let's assume I'm going to give 400 as the variable 1. So we know variable 1 alone we are reading. For a variable 2 we are not reading. So 400 plus 100, it automatically processes and uses result. Now you try for you use this scanner for second variable as well. Now you try it out. So this is it, simple, using scanner nextInt. That is a function which is used to read integer values, to read float, to read a string. That is a different process, different statement. So it's an enter value for variable 1. We have given a print statement, but for second variable you have not given. So let's 600. For second variable you have not given a print statement, but still it waits for this input. This line is waiting for the input. Let's say 700. It gives us 1300. I hope you're able to understand this.